at like 2:00 in the morning this morning, I woke up. I don't know what Carlos was doing, if he was having a dream or what. I just wake up to my head going wham against the mattress. He asleep, ripped the pillow out from under my head, and then turned over and put it under his head. And I immediately roll over and I go, hello?
That's aggressive.
Yeah, I go, hello? And he was like, what? And I was like, what did you just do?
I'm sorry, but I would have been
Time to
mad.
split the rent.
I was like, I'm going to be up in 3 hours.
No, you definitely should have been mad. And subconscious, what was he doing to you? That was sabotage.
Oh, gosh.
And then he went right back to sleep when I was like, well, I'm awake now. Convince him.
I've been getting mad at her for things she did.
In your dreams? Oh, that's that's such a baby girl thing to do.
The other day, we're on a walk. Are we rolling? This would be good. Grab ass.
It would have been until you interrupted it with
it's
that.
fine. The other day, we were walking and we start our walk and he starts telling me about his dream. And I can tell he's getting frustrated with me. And I said, wait, are you mad at me for something that happened?
Why did you kiss him back? It's like
apparently I kissed some old man.
Yeah.
It was probably friendly, like a.
It was like just a little
like
bit
we're in
past
Europe?
friendly. It felt. I think we were in Europe, and it was kind of like, oh, this is like the courteous thing. Then I was like a kiss, and then like, oh, I kind of like that, and then another kiss, and then they laughed about it. Wasn't that fun when we kissed? Let's do it again. And then you guys kissed again, but it's like, oh, but it was a double kiss the first time, so we need to double kiss again. So it was like 4 kisses in 10 seconds. And I'm like trying to give a toast at the table, and I'm flustered.
So he's having like a jealous moment, and I'm like, wait, hold on, time out. This didn't actually happen.
I really was.
So I need you to turn that frown around. Like
I was processing how I could not be so jealous because I trusted both of these people. Like this is like a guy that I know, like an older guy that I know. And I was like, it's
okay. We'll work through it.
Were you mad at him though?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
No, he was mad at both of us.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's only fair.
It wasn't just me.
That's only fair.
I haven't talked to him about it yet because
it could be a little awkward.
it didn't happen.
Hopefully it doesn't come true. Okay, well, that was some good grab ass.
Yeah, I think so. Well, what's different about our setup?
Well,
Jessica always, when we're watching something, will notice the background far earlier than she'll notice what's happening with the people, the emotions on their faces, sometimes the words they're saying. But she's locked in on whatever is behind me right now. Probably.
well, this is definitely the background. It's definitely behind you and under you. But maybe we talked about it last time that you guys had like 3 couches in your garage.
No,
or in your basement.
He went on like a compulsive shopping binge and bought 3 couches in one. Was it in a week?
No, I think it was 2. Okay, it was 3 couches.
It was 3 couches.
But it was like one of those stores to where like they get like returns from Amazon
like
and
a
like other
discount
places,
store.
and it's like the longer it stays on their showroom floor, the cheaper it gets. And it was like, I want to say like 80% off. It was like a $300 couch. Is what we paid
This is a
for.
good couch.
It's a cute
for
couch.
Whatever we paid for it, which it's good.
Yeah.
It is shoved in a corner because we don't have anywhere to put it for now. But I will say, every shop that we have has a couch, and because customers sit in them all day long, sometimes they don't last as long as maybe we think they might. So we've got
This is
3.
the test.
We've got 3 in the
3 backup couches.
Yep, 3 backups.
Your
for now.
basement's just a fort of couches.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, and this is a love seat, right? Is that the
Yeah.
okay?
Mm.
And look, it's
2 squares means love seat.
It's on brand. I mean, the 2 become 1. The 1 coffee ritual, the love seats. We go from couch to love seat. Let's see if we love each other anymore through this podcast.
Okay. Well, your dream was a funny segue because you were talking about traveling. You guys were in Europe. Was that 2 years ago? You'll be going to Europe again this summer. And you also just got back from 2 really big trips. Both of you.
Sound like all we do is leave.
I mean,
You're like, I make it feel.
no. You come back at least. You always come back, but
That's what we tell our dog.
it's
We
okay.
always come back.
It's my
okay,
time with
buddy.
Snoopy. My time with Snoopy. I enjoy it.
Oh gosh.
So-
that's funny.
Yeah, why don't you both tell us about your trips that you were just on? One together, one individual. Jess,
Yeah.
Did we
you
have
wanna
2
start?
trips? Okay, we had one together.
Well, we both went to California, but then I went to Honduras, the coffee farm, and the Lover Boys. We
I
had a
kind
boys
of
trip.
forgot that has happened all in the last
Yeah, a couple
few
months.
weeks.
Well, we had wondered if this, I think it was like 12 days consecutively away from the shop, if you would have an identity crisis.
I didn't. The first 5 days were very busy. We ended up doing apartment shopping with my son who's moving, and then we went to a coffee expo, which was in San Diego. And then after that, we had 7 days of just dog sitting in Ojai, California, at one of Zach's friends' houses. And she had a pool, and we did nothing. It was very strange.
We walked the dog, we lay by the pool,
And ate.
and ate. Yeah, there was quite a bit of eating.
Yeah.
Perfect vacation.
Yeah. And normally if I'm on vacation, I'm still kind of working. I checked Slack, and I checked my emails, but it wasn't even that intense.
Well, because you
guys had it
me,
handled.
We did. No,
Yeah.
nothing caught on fire
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah.
Literally or figuratively.
And I had a lot of issues before we left I was just, I've been doing this 10 years and I don't typically take days off. So I was starting to feel I don't know if I'd call it burnout, but I'd call it lack of creativity. And so I needed to kind of be on for this Weinbach renovation project. And I was really struggling. We both were, I feel like, to figure out the layout that we were going to do. And I'm telling you, it fixed it. We got back, we came into the shop, we both looked at each other. We never usually agree. We're usually fighting when we're going through any layout. And we were like, oh my gosh, we agree.
What about this?
What about
and
this?
It was like,
and then it was
perfect.
like, why didn't we think of this before? And we were like, because we were just exhausted.
Yeah. You've asked for vacations like this before, and I tend to go in the other direction of like, hey, if we're in blah blah blah, we might as well and so whatever's like unique to that experience of that time of year, I'm trying to fill. Like when we went to Chicago for her son's apartment shopping, I was like, are the Cubs playing today?
Yeah.
And so like I went to a baseball game because I had a window and I was
you
in
could.
Chicago.
Yeah. So normally it's like we are staying at a different hotel every night, and this was nice because it was like we were stationed at the same place.
We were responsible to the dog, which I know you'll appreciate. And
Thank you.
so
We did have to wake up at 6:30 every morning to let the dog out, but she was a puppy and it's fine.
And you're morning people anyway.
We're morning people anyway.
Yeah.
That was 8:30 at home.
It sounds like it's just like being at home. Like you did have an actual true home away from home in California, which you're both really familiar with and have been tons of times, and maybe you'll move to or something fun and retire one day.
And then we would
Spoiler
travel
alert.
to Evansville to visit you and the dog.
Or me and the dog go to California to visit you.
Probably work something out.
Yeah. So what is it about being away from Evansville and the shops and just kind of like the general day-to-day that you feel gives creativity? Is it like seeing new spaces, or is it just kind of getting away from the things that bog your brain down?
I feel like it's a little bit of both. We always do visit different shops when we're traveling. Not that we're ever like, hey, we want to copy this, but it's like inspiring. You'll see something that someone's doing really well and it's inspiration. And I feel like for us, California is more like the climate. Every single day we woke up, we didn't even have to check the weather. We were like, oh, it's paradise again. Oh, it's perfect again. And then the day we left, it rained really hard. And we were like, okay, time to go.
It is interesting because like I know the theme for this month is like every day and every decade, but every day of this trip felt the same. It was this weird, interesting repetition of we wake up, we feed the dog, we take a walk, the temperature is the same. We need to get lunch somewhere, and we knew where we were going to go, and we settled into a nice little routine.
Yeah, and I would just say there's just an emphasis on beauty, like all the foliage and the plants and the flowers and everything was blooming, and it was just a really nice time of year. So
maybe one interesting thing that happened, I mean, there were more than one interesting thing that happened, but one thing that was out of the ordinary is we were done with lunch and we were walking around, and then we realized that there was a TV show like being filmed like right in front of where we were walking. Like this guy's like, hey, can you guys just stop for 1 second? And then Jessica's like, wait, I know this show.
I was like, I
And then-
watch this show sometimes.
And like, I'm usually the one that like, freaks out about, movies and film and storytelling. And she's like, whatever, who cares about actors? Like, she doesn't get starstruck or like just really give a crap about any of that. She whips out her iPhone and starts filming. And then like the star of the show just walks right in front of us. And like, she had a moment. And I had a moment watching her have a moment because I was like, look, she cares about this.
It's magic.
yeah.
Hollywood magic.
It was
That was
fun.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, people are going to want to know, what show was it?
Lincoln Lawyer.
Period.
Have
And
you
what
seen
character?
it?
I've seen the first 2 seasons.
Okay,
Not
Cisco.
caught up.
So it's not the main character. Zach said it was the main character, but he's like
What do
one
I
of
know?
the
He's
like
close.
If
he's
it's not
like
Lincoln, it's not the
one
main
of the
character.
4, right?
He's very iconic,
Yeah.
too. He's got the hair and the
Yeah.
voice and the... Oh, yeah. He's iconic.
And it's because he drives a Lincoln, right? It has nothing to do with like our 16th president.
No, it's a weird shtick. Like
He,
there's
like,
a
works a lot in his car. And he's
yeah,
in a Lincoln.
but he's in a Lincoln.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of dumb when I started to think about it. I was like, this is the name of the show.
He just like works too much and kind of neglects his family, and but he's got a redemption arc. You'd like it too.
Okay, all right, and it's on
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
well,
Plug.
Mhm.
There you go. There's your
There
plug.
you go.
Yeah. Okay, and then Zach took a trip as well. Probably sounds like almost polar opposite kind of trip. Not a lot of routine.
Yeah. This was something with one of our coffee farmers, and it was last minute, and it sort of coincided with a couple of things with our team that felt like I'm definitely somebody who wants to like kind of feel things on a head and heart level at the same time, and sometimes I'll go heart first. And
Mhm.
it didn't make a lot of sense to go on another origin trip so soon after we went to Guatemala back in November. But Nick, who was about to be transitioning into another job, like this was kind of like the last hurrah window for him. And then Jacob, who's joined our team, has never actually been to an origin and a coffee farm before. And so I was like, all right. And they had this deal like, hey, we can get, 4 people of the same gender in the same room. Would that work? And I was like, and then my head started being like, yeah, that works. There's the math. And
He'll back into it.
Yeah. We pitched Jessica, and she was like, all right, but you guys better sell some coffee when you get back. And the experience was very fast, and it was very boom, boom, boom. But it was also like, boom, boom, boom in my heart. Is that cheesy? I didn't mean to do that, but like it was so much more emotional for all of us to see how this farm impacted the people working there and the community around it. And so like it's, I don't know, a 5 or 6 hour drive from the airport to get to the farm. We are exhausted after flying and driving all day. We were actually kind of getting sick from winding around. And then all of a sudden, like it's dark, and I thought maybe there was a parade or a protest. I can't remember which. And so like, oh, we need to get out of the van. We get out of the van, and it's the workers have created a banner to welcome us like in the middle of the night and make us feel at home. And like that set the stage for just 3 days of amazing hospitality and showing us the process of how much each one of these people and teams care about their part in the journey. And something we absolutely did not expect was that they have also built a school at this coffee farm so that the workers for the farm can have their kids be educated and not have to either travel miles and miles away to the next closest school or just drop out, which honestly happens a tragic amount of time. And so on the farm, they have built a school, and these kids welcomed us in and like sang songs to us in English. That was the next day they actually prepared like a cultural dance for us to kind of just showcase something that they'd been practicing for weeks and months. And it was, so they dance, and then they changed the song, and then each of the so it was us 4 guys, 4 of the girls, these little kids come up and grabbed a hand of, one of us and pulled us out onto this little dance floor, which they made from where they dry the coffee beans. And we danced, and it was just we talked last time about like, what's a holy experience? Like This was a holy experience. And so this is a coffee farm visit, and we just had such deep connection with these people and these kids, and even a lot of like the science around how they grow and process the coffee like in a really high level. I need to shut up. I can't shut up about it. Like it was such a great experience, and we look forward to partnering with them more, in the future. But yeah. Well, and we did a fundraiser. We were so inspired. We're like, how do we make this grow? And so we actually have launched a fundraiser to help these kids add an 8th grade to their school. It only goes to 7th grade at this point. So
Yeah.
maybe we can
Maybe
put
we
that at
can
the bottom of
add
the
that
screen.
in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my trip without my wife, I came home with a full heart and inspired. And do you think it was worth the investment?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was really sweet to see how excited you all were when you got back about helping them raise money to add an 8th grade to their school. Because right now, they have to end at 7th grade. So, yeah, it was really, really neat to hear all the stories.
Yeah, speaking from experience, I mean, getting to go to Guatemala with you guys, like, I think an origin trip sounds like the thing you'd come back passionate about is coffee and like the industry itself, and learning more like seed to sip or soil to sip or whatever, like the
soil to service.
Yes. But that's it. It's like the biggest takeaway I think from all of us, the origin trips we've had, is hospitality is so different. So different overseas than what we see here, I think, in the day-to-day. Like it's really
it's always inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes you want to live up to it. Like,
it's not prioritized. Yeah, in the United States.
Side. Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of like negative stigma towards customer service, and like I think especially in the Midwest, like people really look down on customer service jobs in different areas, and like you just don't get that going to visit a farm, which is like the most rural, like sometimes the more like frowned upon employment in like the United States. It's like, this is awesome. Like these people are proud of what they do. Yeah. And they want to get to show it off and like share it with you. And it's really cool to come back from that and be inspired for hospitality, not just for coffee.
Yeah. Oh, and to tie it together, I forgot. In California, we actually visited one of the very few farms that we have in the United States. So they had a, what city was that in?
San Paula, I think.
Yeah. So we got to see that on like a smaller scale, but
right.
It was kind of cool.
Get to see the differences and see what's homegrown.
And we got to try some of their coffee.
Yeah, there's some things that make growing coffee in the United States, especially California, a lot more expensive than in other parts of the world, but they are like demonstrating that it is possible. And that was inspiring kind of on a different level of like, okay, what else, what sorts of like agricultural kinds of changes, are going to be possible in the future as we kind of get better at figuring this out and
utilize the planet in ways that are good for it and that we can.
Yeah.
Well, and our roaster for this month, Alma Coffee. Yeah. Alma is Spanish for
soul. Yeah. And it's exciting because Alma is connected to the farm Finca Territo in Honduras that we went and visited, and we're going to have a conversation with them that we'll show here in a little bit about their origin story and how the farm, fulfills a lot of what they roast for people down in Atlanta. But their story, their name, the soul, the connection part, like I'm kind of obsessed with it. I like the name of our coffee shop, but they have an amazing one.
Close second. Yeah. Uh-huh. And you guys will be drinking the Soulmate blend from them, which feels really appropriate.
It's a single origin. But
Soulmate single origin. That rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Which feels really appropriate because tomorrow is a big day for you as well.
That's right. Tomorrow is our 8-year anniversary. So I guess that makes
Thanks
today.
for reminding me.
Yeah. So it's the second to last. The last day of the 7th
We've
year.
We've kind of gotten past like buying each other things anymore. I think we're like, well, and this is kind of a big week because my middle son is graduating from college. So tomorrow we're going to be traveling down to his university. It's just a couple hours away. and staying in a hotel overnight because his graduation's at 8 a.m. So it's a little combo of our anniversary and graduation.
That'll be nice. Good hotel night. Put on a fluffy robe.
Yeah.
Maybe get room service. That'd be a fun splurge.
It's in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah,
Not
room
sure.
service.
I don't know if there's a
What
hotel with
hotel
room
are we
service.
staying
Service at the Hilton.
I'm not
We're
sure, but I can tell you I got a good deal on it on hotels.com.
Okay. We're going to plug all the things today.
Start making a list of restaurants
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
We're accepting sponsors.
But yeah, I'm getting thirsty. I'm excited for you and Jacob to brew us up both the soulmate blend and another
I need more
coffee.
caffeine.
Perfect. Well, sorry, you've got a conversation to do first.
Okay. But after that,
You'll have to wait, but then we'll go to Jacob's Corner later. But right now, we're going to go to you guys talking to Alma Coffee Roasters.
sounds good.
There it is, Zach and
Warehouse
Jessica,
vibes.
where this month's version of coffee was roasted. So right here in Alma Coffee, right in North Georgia. So we have our cafe. Then we have our roasters back there. So our two Loring roasters actually getting some new HVAC. I don't know what it's like in Illinois, but it is scorching down here. And then we have all our fulfillment area back there as well.
That's impressive. You got a big setup going on there.
Thank you. So this is
Well,
where a lot of
and
your
it's-
coffee's warehoused that we then will palletize and then ship up. Now, we actually did get a warehouse about 4 minutes down the road as well. But for the most part, since we started working together, I think it was like 21 or 22, I was shipping everything out of here.
And then the retail space came after?
The retail space actually came during COVID. So when we first started, our vision was we'll mainly be B2B. Selling to restaurants, grocery stores, but then also to roasteries all around, and we'd warehouse here. So when we started, that's kind of what the vision was. And it was really just Leticia and myself. We'd be going to every single farmer's market, roasting one day a week, and then usually packaging either here, but even before that, we were packaging in your parents'
In my
basement.
parents' basement.
Al and Leticia's basement
Yeah.
that you guys got to meet.
Yeah.
So that's where we started. We're packaging right there. We'd be roasting up, basically toll roasting over with a friend up in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got this facility, we just started doing all the roasting here, but then all the distribution for green coffee. And that's eventually where we all met when you guys got honeymooned. But then when COVID hit, that's when we really pivoted. So because all our roasters, they all shut down. Same thing or they took a little hiatus. Same thing with all the restaurants, cafes, and other shops that we worked with. So we pivoted. We were one of the few places that people can come that we had 6 feet of separation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And people would just kind of show up. And it wasn't welcoming or inviting as it is today. Like where we have the retail door, it was actually the same, like right here, where it was like these black metal doors.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see inside. It was like a
Practical.
black retail door here. It wasn't inviting whatsoever, but people would start.
And everything was painted like the most depressing color beige.
It was this terrible beige.
And it just looked so sad. But people kept showing up. And even inside the house, people were like, can we use the restroom in your house? And we're like, oh, we don't live there. But everyone thought we lived there. So it was always just like a fun conversation point.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our relationship, Jessica is definitely the designer, between like the
Nice.
form and function kind of thing. She's definitely like
Yeah.
team form.
Yeah.
bet
I love that.
You love seeing those black garage doors. Just
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
The day we got everything painted was like one of my dreams coming true because I couldn't stand how everything just looked with that
Yeah.
sad beige. Yeah.
Not for it can be for the recording, but we had a panel removed so you could see what color it was. Everything was this color of beige. So it was like it wasn't inviting whatsoever. It was like, and the fact that people would come up because we're in the middle of kind of the woods, as you guys can see around us. But people would show up and just go to this warehouse. And when we started, we didn't even have a POS system. So whenever people would just show up, we just either hope they had cash and we'd be like, yeah, you want to buy a bag of coffee?
Yeah.
We're so that we'd be making people Chemexes, kind of like what we just did. Actually, we did a V60 today.
A lot of times we didn't even charge people because we were like,
We didn't know how. We didn't know how to.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like someone walked into like your basement, and we were just like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah. Or when I'd be roasting by myself, I wouldn't know that someone was behind me, and all of a sudden there's just a customer there.
Yeah.
Because we had no barriers or whatever. But then
Mm-hmm.
as time went on, more and more people showed up, and then we started actually, building out a cafe.
Mhm.
And fast forward, 6 years, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been definitely a place where a lot of community members will get together. We're pretty centrally located, at least in where our town is and county is. So we get a lot of folks in for meetings, and then we roast fresh here. So there's no other place you can come get fresher coffee than this. So we get a lot of people coming in for whether it be bags or drinks. And then we also do like seasonal drinks. So we always make our own syrups in house. So we really try and have fun with it.
Gosh, all right. We got like so many jumping off points. I feel like you guys are like actually embodying the whole like if you build it, they will come sort of hope, that a lot of business owners have. And oftentimes it's not the case, but it looks like for you guys it really kind of was.
And we didn't even, I don't think we really set out to build it. We just needed space, because when we started, we were like, okay, well, we find roasters that really care. And that's how we all met, via you or via Ethan. I can't remember, because it was like 2022 or 23. But we're trying to find the roasters that really cared about where the product comes from. So not only about the quality, but then also about the impact that was going to go behind that coffee. Mm-hmm. So as you guys were starting to move into the roasting side, with Honeymoon, and then the Evansville merger, that one I think came very naturally. So we needed the space to be able to service folks like you guys. So, and then it just kind of turned out we had a lot of places start building around us, from apartment buildings, residential homes, and now it's it definitely kind of shifted the business plan from when we set out in 2018.
Yeah,
when we quit our corporate careers. So.
All right. We're getting bits and pieces of the story, and I want to maybe help give folks, a sense of at least some of the beginnings. So
totally. I was going to ask, have we officially started, or is this just like background?
We're going to let the editor decide, if this is good stuff to keep in here.
We're just enjoying coffee right now.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, all right. So we'll at least give like an official welcome. So welcome, Harry and Leticia, from Alma Coffee. We are really excited to be able to like not only see your space, see your faces, but like take even more time than we have in the past to like get your guys' story, both your love story and like how the business came to be and how coffee kind of fits into your life. So why don't we start out with the love story? How did you guys meet?
Ooh, a great question. So we met freshman year of high school.
2008.
Yeah, I guess 2008 in art class. But we barely spoke to each other the whole year. We didn't sit next to each other, didn't sit at the same table. The only memory I have of Harry is that he built an ant out of, what was it, like paper mache? Yeah. And
and it looked cool, or it was weird?
Oh, no. I got the inspiration from the airport, I decided to paper mache this ant.
Yeah.
And that's the background there.
But the whole year we were in this class together and probably like didn't say 2 words to each other.
Yeah, I was so focused on this ant. I was there was so many layers of paper mache. Like if this was like a piñata, like good luck. Yeah, no, Barry Bonds would have been able to get through this thing.
And we were in a really small school. There were 19 kids in our grade. So the fact that we didn't speak to each other the whole year, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like we really went out of our way to avoid each other that year.
Yeah.
Now, were you guys dating other people at the time? Like, or were there like, a reason that you might not have had a romantic connection right away?
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Great question, because I wasn't. But Harry?
No, I mean, we were. So we got together we started really talking because we were in sophomore in geometry together.
Yeah.
And where they had the honors classes, they just put us with the regular people, but they just gave us more homework.
This is him dodging the question.
I am dodging the question. Yeah. I'm gonna be dodging like wrenches later on. Thanks a lot, Zach.
It's ancient history.
It is.
No,
it
it's
is.
not.
It is. Zach said it. It's ancient history. That's Korea. So
let's get to who made the moves here. I'm really excited to know what's happening next.
Yeah.
Who made the move?
We're building up
We're building the suspense.
story. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was not spitting game in honors geometry, but we always got paired together because we were in the honors geometry, and it was, like I said, it was the same class.
So now
they just gave us more work.
Now we're sophomores. We're the two in honors geometry, but within the regular geometry class because our school is so small.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to work together because there's projects and stuff, and like we're the only ones taking the same like coursework. So that's when we started talking. And then who made the first move? I think I did.
I would say you did.
Yeah, I did. My friend and I, we were waiting to like go out with some friends or go to a party or something, and we had nowhere to go. So we were like, who lives close to where we are? Harry does. Let's go see what he's up to.
So you used me.
Yeah, we just like texted him, showed up at his house. And
I think I was in like, it was kind of late. It was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it was late for some high school students.
I was like in just gym shorts. And then I think we just watched a movie.
We like did it. We barely talked. I think we just like hung out, watched a movie, but then we started texting.
Yeah.
And it kind of started to develop from there.
But it was definitely that high school relationship where I think I was probably scared to make that first move, or like, you're showing, oh, I like this person by pretending to like be not really care.
Be nonchalant.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was all really cool, and it didn't really work because it took us months to then actually start officially dating.
Yeah.
And the rest is history from that. So that was sophomore, then junior and senior year we were together, and then we ended up going up to Chicago for college. So I went to Loyola in Chicago. Leticia went up to DePaul. So very close to each other. So if anyone's familiar with the geography of Chicago, both DePaul and Loyola are on the Red Line train line.
Yeah.
So we're about 20 minutes separated.
I think they're like 7 miles away from each other. So it worked out really well because we wanted to stay together, but we wanted to have our own lives where it wasn't like all we did was hang out with each other and then we don't develop community outside of each other. So we had our separate environments and we saw each other when we wanted to see each other. And it was the perfect balance for us. It's not to say that it would work well for everyone, but it worked out really well for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you guys know, at what point was it like, all right, he's the one, she's the one, like we're gonna end up together? Like when did you have like that clarity, or was it after that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. For me, I never thought I would get married. Like, I never thought I'd have kids. I never thought I'd get married. I always just said marriage is a piece of paper. Like, it means nothing. It's the commitment behind you wanting to be with that person. But something changed after we graduated college. We went on a trip to, we did a Mediterranean cruise. It was kind of like a celebratory for us graduating college. My parents came. My sister went because she graduated high school that year too. And it was the first vacation we took together. And I think something about seeing like the family dynamic, seeing how we got along in a new environment, like tourists, different languages, all of that. I came back from that trip and I was like, he is my person. And I had known that, but I just felt differently about marriage after it for some reason. I can't tell you exactly why. It's just like I came back different. And that's when I started talking about saying like, we should get married.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Harry was like, it took you 6 years to say that.
Yeah.
Harry, were you more like traditional and like marriage was something you would hope for, or did you have a similar, concerns about the piece of paper?
No, it was actually more the traditional sense. So I kind of felt it around that same time, but that was probably because we had just graduated college. And so I wasn't really, I knew Leticia was the one for me kind of going through college, but it wasn't anything I was going to pop the question until after college. Like I wanted to make sure that I had a job lined up, and I did. Both of us had really nice job offers lined up after college, and so after that that's when we took that vacation together. So around then, that's when I kind of was was very committed to the idea. This is who I'm marrying.
Mhm.
You know, I've done what I'm supposed to do. You know, stayed in school, went to college, got a good degree, got a good job, and now this was kind of the next step.
Mhm.
So it was probably right around that same time.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
So you both went to university and you got jobs.
Mhm.
What did you guys study and when did you kind of transition into coffee?
I'll let you go
Yeah.
first.
So I went to DePaul and I double majored in accounting and management information systems. So very business focused, but even now I really like to focus on the IT side of stuff and technology. So that's where you see a lot of like the MIS background come in.
Yeah, and so for mine, very similar, except a little bit more on the finance side. So I was accounting with finance and a minor in operations. So I really liked the business management side of it, and I really liked kind of getting the nitty gritty of the numbers. So I really enjoyed accounting, and right out of school, started studying for my CPA, and eventually became a CPA. So that was like the path that I really went down. In terms of when we decided that we wanted to go into coffee, it was through a couple years in the corporate world.
Mhm.
Although the firms we were at were fantastic, I would say, in terms of training and development,
Yeah.
and the opportunities that it provided. But for us, I kind of left the day really not feeling fulfilled that we were making the world a better place.
Mhm.
And so that was something that was really lacking because as auditors, really all our hard work, all of the busy season, all of the, 80, 90-hour work weeks came down to a single audit report that said that shareholders can rely and know that the numbers depicted in the financial statements are accurate and fair. You know, and then we just start the next year over and over again. So for us, for me especially, that wasn't fulfilling enough. And so going down to the farm with her dad Al, the owner of Finca Territo, gained to see the hope and future that was being brought from the coffee farm, and how coffee
Mhm.
could actually really be not only sustainable for as a business, but also for the community, and bring so much jobs, bring so much hope. And that was really kind of what sparked that. And so this time period is around what, 2017.
Yeah.
And so in 2018, we decided to take the leap of faith to say, okay, if we can bring coffee from our farms and find a home for it here with roasteries all over the U.S., then we can make a real big difference. And our plan is that, hey, if we can outpace the production of the farm, we can start bringing other farmers along for the ride. Um, and fast forward, 8 years, we've been able to work with so many amazing farmers and bring so much hope, with the work with a nonprofit that we actually have that we work with here in the United States. We've been able to build a school and clinic. So about 54 kids get a free education because of the work that happens at the farm, and really the support from roasters like yourselves at Evansville. That I think is really special. So,
Oh yeah, well, and I know that we have told some of that story through our social media, but for folks who might be coming across this video and don't know much either about us or you all, maybe
Yeah.
Letitia in particular, like tell us the story of like the farm, like your experience of how coffee has fit in your life and your family,
Yeah.
and when this sort of click, kind of happened that tying your past to your future.
Sure, totally. So yeah, I feel like my background is really cool because I grew up visiting coffee farms, and that's anyone who's in the coffee industry that hasn't been to Origin, that's your dream is to be able to go to Origin. And I grew up getting to experience that, not really knowing at the time because I was young what a unique upbringing that was. So I got to travel to Honduras, spend Christmas down at coffee farms, see the whole process. And it's kind of like the way you would imagine visiting family for Christmas. You don't think too much about it. It's just the holidays. But fast forward to being an adult, and I started to really understand the impact of what one of our key pillars is improving lives, both for Finca Tea and for Alma, what that meant in the context of coffee, right? It's giving people opportunity in this town that doesn't really have any other options, giving these people opportunity to have a lifelong career, not just for themselves, but for the generations after them. It's building a foundation for their families. So that's really what drew me to want to join this industry. I love coffee and I'm passionate about coffee, but what I'm most passionate about is the people side of it. And that's what coffee
Yeah.
ultimately does. It brings people together, whether it's a first date or hanging out with a friend, drinking a cup of coffee, or going to Origin and seeing a coffee picker or seeing the person that runs the export facility. It's about the people side of it. And that is what really changed my perspective on the industry and made me decide, you know what? I want to be a part of this, something that 5 generations before me started, take it one step further, right? And that's bringing it direct to consumer, being able to advocate for ourselves here in the US as coffee farmers, which most coffee farmers don't get a chance to do. There's cultural
Right, right.
barriers, language barriers, distance as a barrier. So we had this really unique opportunity to speak on behalf of coffee farmers, advocate for the injustices, and be able to bring our own product directly to consumer. So hopefully that answers the question, but that's kind of like the upbringing in coffee and the why of why joining the industry for me.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, so I think in the story we've got you guys are transitioning out of your kind of finance, careers, and you're seeing this opportunity within coffee.
Right.
And because of the background with your family farm, and your educations and what you've been exposed to as consumers, like there, and even like being in an area like near Atlanta, like there are probably a lot of different next steps that you could take. Like, how did you decide on what that next step was going to be for you in a way that took care of your family financially?
Good question. I mean, I think so. We've just been blessed to, in many ways, kind of found ourselves in these positions. So when we first started, this is 2018. I had a green bean client that, or someone that I thought would be a customer, and they said, "Hey, if you bring up coffee, we'll buy it from you." And it was like 7 bags. And if you thought importing a container was hard, what's even harder is like 7 bags. It was so small. It was like it was such a undertaking to bring up these 7 bags.
Yeah.
And when we finally did, it was a lot of hard work to get these bags up here from the farm, because we couldn't really use a container on that on something that shipment of that size. We finally got it up here. Texted them, said, "Hey, you got your coffee?" Ghosted. Never heard from them. So all of a sudden, now we have this coffee. And we're like, well, what do we do?
Yeah.
We're unemployed. We're living in our parents' basement. We thought we'd have.
We're newly married.
We're newly
Yeah.
married.
We had a cat.
We had a cat at the time, and so it's like, well, we got to make this work, or else we're gonna go back to being auditors.
Yeah.
And so then we ended up through actually, when we first got into the industry of when we quit our jobs, we were like the next week we were on a plane to the SCA, which is a specialty coffee like expo in Seattle, and during that time we had met someone that had a roastery up in North Carolina. Great friend, great mentor of ours named Robbie Roberts. He had a place called Joe Van Gogh.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Oh, like come on up to our spot, come learn a little about our roasters, etc." So we go up there, and then they ended up toll roasting that coffee for us, and that's when we started hitting every single coffee farmers market, every single restaurant in our area of North Georgia, trying to just get our name out there and trying to move these 7 bags that I thought we had a customer for. And that's so it wasn't one that I think we set out to do. It just sort of kind of happened through, some
Necessity.
unfortunate events that might have
Yeah.
happened before.
I think our story definitely is like we took that leap of faith, and it was not a smooth road at all. There were lots of nights that like we cried ourselves to sleep, that we were like, we're giving up tomorrow. We don't have what it takes to be entrepreneurs to make
Mhm.
it. But we just persevered, and when challenges came our way, it's like, yeah, you mourn for yourself, you give yourself the time to process, but then you pick yourself up and you say, okay, I can figure this out.
Yeah.
And like how? Now let's work on the how. And we just work step by step.
Yeah.
Every day we get a new challenge. And there's days today that we're like, can we make it through this challenge?
Yeah.
And we're like, someone else has. So that means we've got to be able to
Yeah.
do it,
And the cafe was very similar because the cafe happened, like our cafe that we just that you saw earlier, that happened because when COVID occurred, like everything just shut down, and we were just kind of so bored at the time, and we were just so desperate for anyone to come in. We were making people pour overs, and if they came in, we'd sell them a bag of coffee. And so we just kind of set up basically a pop-up,
Yeah.
and that is, evolved over time. And this is like 2020. Now
Yeah.
2026, got a really great customer crowd and a lot of regulars that come back every single day. With our online
Simultaneously
business
to
too.
that, yeah, because of COVID, we sent our first email asking people to support us and saw the power in that. So as hard as COVID was, it pushed us to try new things. And this was a period in time where literally the next day we were like, do we give up? And we just kind of kept trying new things. And some things were horrible decisions, right? They did not work out at all. And then other things led to us having a coffee shop, led to us having a successful e-commerce business. So you just have to keep trying things and be okay with the failures in some of those tries.
Okay. I was saying the journey doesn't always go the way that you think it will in your head, but it sounds like you guys have kind of just like organically flowed in the way that it was kind of meant to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. I couldn't say I couldn't say any better on that
Yeah,
one.
exactly. You can have all the plans in the world, but sometimes that's not what your community wants. And sometimes you end up realizing that's not even what you want. After you go after it and like, you're like, maybe this isn't exactly what I thought it would be. So everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that. And, you just keep trying things
Well,
until you get where you want to be.
Yeah.
I want to sort of take the conversation in a couple different directions before we get
Yeah.
to the coffee. And
Yeah.
so, first of all, like for Harry, what's it like to work for your in-laws? And I've met your in-laws. I've met Letitia's parents, and they're very impressive people. So I can imagine that, like, it being exacerbated, having struggles, in front of your in-laws and others that are like, very impressive people. And then my next question is for Letitia around becoming a mother. So both directions, with family, if you guys want to take those on.
Definitely. No, I mean, I think it is so much fun working with family. I mean, we set out, it was you, myself, your dad, and we just said, let's go at this together as family. And if we can make something happen, amazing. It's never gotten to the point where it's weird around the dinner table, even when the results aren't the best. Thankfully, we've been able to succeed in all those endeavors. So I would say it's a ton of fun. Obviously, it actually, I would say, have way more positive because there's just so much trust in there. There's no, when we're all making decisions, we all know what the objective is, and it's for the better of the family. So I think it takes a lot of the pressure off, I think, performance, because we're looking at it from a generational standpoint, and it's not like quarter to quarter, month to month. It is generation to generation. So any decision that we're making is going to be something that's going to have repercussions, for generations. So looking out long term and really having that vision of being able to work like we're going to live forever, but live like we're going to go tomorrow. I think that really helps, knowing how that there's going to be a next generation. I think that segues it over to being a mother, but that we're doing this all for our daughter.
Yeah. I'll also add, I think something that works really well for us is that we identified early on each other's strong suits and we let ourselves go into those roles. So we kind of lead in what we're strong in and we respect each other leading in what the other person is strong in. So Harry's really strong, for example, on the sales side and the connections and the relationships. So he leads that side and we kind of follow his direction there because that's really what he excels at and what he enjoys. And then vice versa with me and then with my dad as well. So that's worked really well for us in knowing like what is our lane. And it's not that we just fully stay in there, but you have that kind of like guide of where your roles and responsibilities are and then where someone else takes over and helps you out. In terms of motherhood, I mean, it's definitely been a huge transition and it's not an easy one because now you have a whole little person that relies on you completely. And especially with Harry in work, we used to really be able to tag team and it was like, I'm in this with you 50%, right? Like he's 50, I'm 50, like we got each other. And today that's the case, but from like 8 to 5. And then at 5, I have to be home to take over
Yeah.
and take care of our child. And it doesn't matter if we have a super important meeting. It doesn't matter if there's this once in a lifetime opportunity. I have to be home at 5. And I just, at that point, I have to like clock out of work, Leticia, and be mom, Leticia. And that balance is just really tough because I want to be there for my partner, the person that I started all of this with, but I also have to be there for our daughter. And I know it's tough for you too because you have to be here, but also you want to be present as well.
Yeah.
No.
No, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like also same thing. The fatherhood, I would say, has taught us a lot of knowing like what's important. As I said, it definitely puts into perspective all the
Yeah.
work that we're doing
Yeah.
is for the next generation. It's
Mhm.
not, when before our daughter, we were just doing this because we just really love what we do and
Yeah.
the ability to make an impact in the community. But now I think it's so much more important.
Yeah, you're right. Like we would be willing to make more sacrifices to ourselves before we became parents. But today that's not the case because we have someone else that depends on us fully.
Yeah. Did you guys have a daily ritual? I know you have a baby now. So do you start your day with coffee together?
Daily ritual. We could be better at that with
Yeah.
us and this role. But yeah, I'm so sorry.
gosh, so much time's gone by.
Oh, it is.
Thank
I'm so
you.
sorry. I'm on a call.
Yeah.
You're good. We were, yeah. If you're still around, I'll come over and say hey. Yeah, good to see you.
We know what it's like to try and have a meeting or a recording like in front of like customers.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Okay,
let's
you want
do
to try that question again, babe? What,
So about
she's gonna
morning
try the
ritual.
question again.
Let's do it from
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah. All right, so-
Yeah. Do you guys have as new parents, do you have a morning ritual together or does it kind of hit the ground running in the morning?
I think it's survival still,
Yeah.
you know.
The ritual is can you go get the milk?
Yeah.
Can you get the milk?
Uh,
So,
I think the one thing that's really important is that like one of us gets her out of the crib in the morning. That to me is really special that she wakes up to one of us and goes to bed to one of us. But other than that, it's really just survival and she runs the show. I mean, it's her world. We just live in it. And that's kind of like how it is with an 18-month-old. So right now we're in the phase of she wants to read. So we wake up and like we have to read books and that's been fun. She doesn't let us get through a book. So we're still like in page 1, 2 and then gotta switch to book. In terms of coffee, because we live so close to work, we could literally walk here once they finish building a sidewalk. So we kind of wait to drink our coffee once we get to work and we can kind of like have our cup of coffee, catch up on emails and then get the workday started. So we just really focus on our daughter while we're at home.
yeah.
Yeah, it feels kind of healthy to have that sort of separation. And
Yeah.
we had another married couple last month that we talked to that actually lives above their coffee shop. And like
Wow.
even just being on a separate floor, they can have that enough of a separation. But it's important to have the separation to not be just sort of.
Also just had a baby, so it.
Mhm.
2 months in a row,
Okay,
we're talking
yeah.
to a
Yeah.
married couple that works together and just had a baby.
It's a lot to juggle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and since we're talking about coffee and we see you guys drinking some coffee there, what can you tell us about the coffee that's included in this month's ritual box for the One Coffee Ritual?
Definitely. So we included I'm actually so sorry, Zach. Did we sent the soulmate one, right? Or do we do natural?
Yeah, it's the soulmate. Yeah.
Soulmate, that's what I thought. So we're actually right now what we're drinking for ritual, we're doing the natural. This one was roasted by you guys. We wanted to give that one a try. This is from Finca Alejandra, which is a farm right next to Finca Territo.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a Paranema as well as Obata variety. With it being so close to Finca T, which is where our main farm is and where we do all the processing, we're able to really bring over the cherries quickly, sort them quickly, and have them dried. So in terms of quality, this is one of my favorite coffees to drink. Very like winey notes to it, very tropical notes.
Yeah.
So that one's really fun. Now the one that we roasted up and then sent in this week's ritual is one of a washed coffee from Letitia's farm, Finca La Unica. It's about an hour and a half, it's about an hour away from Finca Tea, 1,400 meters above sea level, Patanema variety. And so for us, this one is a beautiful coffee with acidity, a lot of sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I get a lot of notes of dried fruit. You're getting almost like a kind of the acidity of a citrus rind to it. And the dried fruit would be like the apricot, the date notes to it, the brown sugar. So I think that's a really fun coffee. It's a very approachable coffee. So it's one that we roast the most of here at Alma, and it's our soulmate roast. If you had one coffee for the rest of your life, this would be your soulmate. And we roast it as our omni roast. You could do it as espresso, which is what we run in our cafe. We can have it as cold brew, drip coffee, any method. It is that workhorse coffee for us.
Yeah. Well, and the couples that, used it for the ritual do like to try it in multiple applications. So I'm hoping that people feel encouraged to try that and experiment with the soulmate. And who named this coffee? I need to know.
Great question.
2018.
Gosh. I think we had a bunch of names that we kind of like had laid out. So I think it was probably just like a joint effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were trying to go with Alma means soul in Spanish. So we were trying to go with more like romantic themes. So hence soulmate, we have passion, enchanted, essence, things that are a little more on the romantic side.
Sorry guys, did you get
All
that?
Right. Our connection's getting a little bit spotty here, which maybe is our sign that we need to land the plane here a little bit. But I did hear you mention that Alma means soul, and what was the story behind that with Alma? So we mentioned a couple things. We mentioned Finca Territo, which is a farm, and then Alma Coffee, which is a roastery, cafe people can visit, in the US. So where did the name Alma, come from?
Yeah, so great question. The name Alma came from us really wanting a word that encompassed not only everything that we are putting into the business, but the generations before us too. And when we really got down to the root of it, we were like, this is our family's soul. It's our family's legacy. It's a generational lineage. So it just felt very appropriate. And then it's also a feminine name, and women are very underrepresented in the coffee industry. So we thought it was a really nice homage to that. It was easy to remember, easy to pronounce, Spanish, of course. So everything kind of fell into place with the name Alma. And we kind of just fell in love with it and said, this is it. It feels right.
And it really came down to what we put into the coffee. We really put our whole heart and soul into the coffee. So wanted to get something that encompassed that story as well, that you're getting something from seed to cup. And this is what generations of your family have worked so hard to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, if folks are in the northern Georgia area, we encourage them to come take a visit to Alma. You guys have a great e-commerce store as well. If people want to buy, beans, there's also plenty of storytelling that you guys do on the website. Encourage people to check that out. Also, and it was great to see you, Harry, at the expo in San Diego earlier this year, and we hope to be able to. It's Jessica's turn to make a trip to the farm. So
I would love to visit your shop too.
Yes, please do. Open invite to both.
Yeah. And then, take an extended layover when you come through Atlanta, and then come up and see us, and then we'll head on down to the farm together.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. All right. Well, great to catch up with you guys. And until the next time we see you, cheers.
See you.
Perfect.
Really good to see you guys.
Bye,
Cheers,
guys.
everyone.
All right.
So we're finding Jacob in his coffee corner again. How's it
Welcome
going?
to the corner. Going well. Yeah.
Good.
We're gonna brew up some good coffee. Talk about some fun stuff today, like a grinder. So
Sweet. I'm excited. I see all new equipment today. So it's totally brand new.
yeah. So welcome to the corner. Let's dive in, huh? Cool. So we've actually got a variety of things that we've got here. What we're gonna kind of talk about today is this grinder, alongside the Alma coffee that we're highlighting with this month's The One Ritual. So the kind of origin story, kind of backstory on why we're talking about the grinder is when when we were setting out to do the one, we serve the well, the coffee comes in bags in the boxes that are 50 grams each, right? So about a 2-person serving of coffee. And so we wanted a grinder that would hold that much coffee in it. That's kind of baseline, something that we wanted to kind of be able to suggest to people that are buying this package. But we wanted it to be affordable, within a reasonable budget, not too out of reach. But we also, whenever you get to that, where you're trying to have something that grinds well, that's within budget, to find one that we truly recommend, it started to become kind of hard because they get kind of pricey pretty quickly. So we started the hunt for hand grinders, because that takes away a few components, so you can get a higher quality grinder for cheaper. We started looking at those, but there's only a couple that hold 50 grams. And so as the hunt continued on, you actually found this grinder. So we ordered it. We liked the specs on it. For the price point especially, it's just about $80, which isn't cheap, but we'll say this time and time again that the grinder is the most important part of your brewing setup. So fairly reasonable, and it's electric, so you're not using all of your energy, and it holds enough coffee. And so we've been testing it, and we really like it. So I thought I would just kind of demonstrate a little bit of what is specific about this grinder, why we like it, and then we'll brew coffee with it. So.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. The quickest Google search of my life. Like, I tenfold got really lucky. So
it was crazy. Yeah, we were like, wait, this is like the golden grinder for this price point. So people may have seen or be familiar with this kind of classic blade grinder. So what we've got here is you have this chamber right here that you put your coffee in, and then it's just going to have like a blade inside of it. So we call it a blade grinder. The blade is what's doing the grinding of the coffee. So you put your beans in whole, you press this little button, and it spins this little blade. And then depending on how long you hold down your button, or on some of them, you just like press the top kind of thing. Depending on how long you do that, it just keeps chopping like a blender until you say you're ready to stop. These are usually very cheap. You can find them for as cheap as $5, $10. You can go to TJ Maxx or Home Goods or something and just find them pretty easily. And they work, but they create a pretty big problem if you're trying to make consistent coffee day in and day out, which is something that we want to help people to do, because if you want to really enjoy your coffee at home, step one is kind of learning how to consistently brew it. So the reason that these get pretty inconsistent is that, as you can imagine, with those blades in the bottom, you're not actually grinding it to an exact size. You're kind of just hoping that it gets ground consistently. And so since you have it in a blender shape, you have big chunks flying to the top, and then it's grinding up. Certain pieces will get super, super fine. Some are super, super coarse. And so coffee is a lot like anything else that will dissolve or extract. So to where the finer it gets, the faster it extracts. So you have these tiny pieces that brew super fast and cause a lot of bitterness in your cup. And then you have these big chunks that don't even fully extract, and you actually like lose some flavor. So you get this kind of funky tasting cup. Sometimes you even get grittiness. If it was, say, a French press like we're going to do today, you'll get extra grittiness, and you really just can't replicate a good cup of coffee. You might get a good one every once in a while, but you won't be able to repeat it the next day. So what's kind of neat about what we have to offer today, and to kind of, or not so much to offer, but to kind of point out and to refer, is this guy. It kind of looks similar to this blade grinder, but it's going to have some pretty cool different specs. So if you were to get this, it's the OXO Brew compact grinder. It would come basically in basically two parts like this, with this little spritzer bottle, and I'll explain what that's about too. But essentially what you have here is you have your motor at the bottom. This whole thing is your motor. When you press the button, it spins that little piece here, which spins up in here a burr. And so you'll notice that if this grinder is a blade grinder, this grinder right here is what we would call a burr grinder. So with this, you can actually adjust, and you can set your grind size to wherever you want it to be, from very, very fine to very, very coarse, so that you can replicate that day in and day out. So on our One Coffee Ritual website, we have some like recommended brew methods for these coffees, and each of those will have like a paired grind size. And what we're also going to do is start pairing recommended like the size on this grinder for those recipes. So like we'll say for a French press, we recommend it medium coarse, which is an 11.5 on the OXO grinder. It's just going to be helpful. But what's really nice about this is that it is just that step up where you have a consistency day in and day out. So we will show a little bit of a demonstration of what grinds look like inside of the blade grinder, and then we'll grind it up just now, but we'll also show how consistent the grinds look in the burr grinder. And what you'll find is the blade grinder has kind of all over the place. You'll see huge chunks and you'll see tiny, tiny, tiny fines. This burr grinder is going to be much more consistent. So let's go ahead and grind up a few on that real quick. Or just a little bit of coffee there. And then we'll go ahead and start our French press. So
Awesome.
any questions as I'm spewing all this information?
No, I mean, I think you've done a great job of explaining everything. And before I worked in coffee and more so specialty coffee, I couldn't have told you what a conical burr was. So
Yeah, totally.
it's really great to have that explained and know, like you said, I think a lot of people are familiar with seeing the blade, but don't even know that there's another option out there. And and it's kind of cute too. It's like a sexy little grinder.
It is. It's very compact. Like, it's very movable. It's nice. And what's nice about this too is they range. You can buy versions of these that are thousands of dollars. They get higher and higher and higher and higher quality. But what we like about this is that it has steel burrs inside, which means that they're going to hold up over time. And we're finding pretty consistent grind size. So for the cost, it's a really great burr grinder. I'm just going to go ahead and grind these up. Just press the button till I hear a sound change. And then I'm just gonna pour these grounds. Just take it off like that. And pour these grounds in here, and we'll kind of be able to see the difference here in that grind size and the consistency. So after kind of looking at those grind sizes, let's go ahead and use this OXO. We'll brew up French press.
Awesome.
Of this Alma coffee.
Sounds good.
So this is actually really nice. So this guy, the top kind of just comes off. So if you have a scale, then you can actually just set it on top of your scale and use that to weigh your coffee. Or if you have the one bags that are 50 grams, you just pour the whole bag into it. You don't even have to take it off. But I'm going to weigh out 50 grams real quick. And then something that I did not do, but I'll mention, that is really clever with this grinder is they include this little like spritzer bottle. What you can do is, and I would do it like inside the batch, the whole batch, but you just give it a couple spritzes and kind of mix it in. A tiny, tiny bit of moisture like that, you don't want to pour water on it. It'll clog the grinder, hurt things. But a little spritz like that will actually reduce like all the static. And so the reason static's a problem is that the coffee will just cling in here and you'll just have a messy grinding experience. So this little spritzer will go a super long way. It's really clever that they included it.
So can you tell me more about a French press too and how that differs? We made some pour over coffee last time. So what are we going to see different? Just even besides from like the beans themselves.
So pour over, we used a paper filter, which is not renewable. All these different methods, you can have kind of different trade-offs, right? You can't reuse the paper filter, but what it does do really nicely is it filters super, super well. It gets even the finest of grinds out, although if it's too fine, like a blade grinder can do, it can clog it up. The French press, since it has a metal filter, tends to have slightly larger holes on this than paper. It doesn't strain out quite as much. And so sometimes the body or the mouthfeel is a little bit, for lack of a better word, grittier. A lot of people enjoy it. It tastes very full. But also you'll find a lot of times at the bottom of a French press, you might have just a little bit of silt because it just doesn't filter it quite as extremely as the paper. But what's nice about a French press is this is reusable. It's very easy to use, and you can brew a lot at once. So it's good for a couple people. So what I'm going to do here is kind of just brew it how we would recommend brewing it on our brewing methods page on the One Coffee Ritual site. So first thing I'm going to do is actually just rinse this with a little bit of water. I just want to get this glass nice and hot and ready. Since this is going to be exposed for the whole time that it's brewing, I just don't want to lose any temperature in that brewing, both for quality and so that it's hot enough whenever I go to drink it. So I'm just going to rinse that and dump it. And then I'll just take my coffee here, pop that off. You'll notice there's some grinds right there and some static in here because I didn't spray that water. That's kind of what you're preventing whenever you spray a little spritz on there. So I will go ahead and pour all 50 grams into the French press. If I'm on a scale, I'm going to tare this. And we have the ounces written out on the website as well. I'm going to use grams right now. So I'm filling up to 750 grams. So this is a 1 to 15 ratio, meaning 1 part coffee, 15 parts water. So 50 grams of coffee in, 750 grams of water is what I'm going to also add. Whenever I start pouring my water, I'm going to start my timer. And I'm just going to pour around 100 grams, enough water to fully saturate all the coffee at the start, just to get it going, get it all started. So I'm going to hit start on my scale and start brewing my French press. I like to give it a little bit of a lift at the very start, just to make sure I'm getting all of it. And then as I approach that 100 gram mark, you can also spin it. and give it a little stir if you need. And you're good. I'm gonna take a stir. I'm gonna take a spoon and I'm gonna give this a gentle but genuine and thorough stir, making sure all these grounds do get fully saturated by the water. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and fill up the rest of the way to 750 grams. I like to spin it, like I said, throughout just to make sure everything's getting saturated. The French press tends to have a very full flavor, not just because of that filtration that we talked about, but also because, unlike a pour over, these grinds are going to be sitting with the water the whole time. So a pour over, the water's constantly running through the coffee, so it only sits with the coffee for so long. On this French press, the coffee and the water are sitting together the whole time until you're ready to pour out your cup.
Does that have more to do with the fats that you referenced that get filtered out? Who knew coffee had fats?
Yes. Well, so the fats are getting, they are kind of staying behind, but it's actually kind of just all of it all at once. So while the fats are staying behind, everything else is everything else that's in the coffee that can be extracted is sitting with that water the whole time. So it's just everything that can be extracted is having more opportunity to extract. Yeah, we could go really nerdy in that, but that's the the idea, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then what I'll do here is, once I've got that full, I'm just gonna set this on here, and then what I'll do is press this not all the way to the bottom, but just enough so that it's submerged under the water, this filter. I'm not going to press it all the way down because I don't want to squish those coffee beans and squeeze out any flavors that we don't want, any extra bitterness. So I'm actually just going to keep it where it's at whenever we're done, and I'm going to tilt it and pour it out into the mugs. It's going to filter it because it's already in there and good to go. So without any further commentary on the French press, I want to pause real quick and talk about the Alma Coffee. So what we've got here is this Soulmate blend, or not blend, but Soulmate roast from Alma. This is the Finca La Unica that we're highlighting, the first week's coffee on the One Coffee Ritual this month. It is actually a coffee that we source here as well, coming from Finca Terrorito in Honduras. This is a super, super delicious coffee. Alma is super proud of it. It's actually like the first coffee that they started with in their shop, and it's still a core coffee at their cafe today. It is super, super chocolatey, cocoa-y. They describe it as having notes of candied walnuts, clementines, and bold milk chocolate. So it's going to be very rich, very forward. We have the Finca Alejandra, which will also be drunk on the podcast, Brewing and Drip. So right now we're just kind of highlighting this guy right here. So if the Finca Alejandra, which is actually a neighboring farm of this coffee right here in Honduras, is a little bit more bright and sweet, and fruit forward, this is a little bit more nutty, chocolatey, stable kind of coffee. This is more of a medium roast. The Finca Alejandra is a lighter roast. So really neat. The farm that this coffee comes from is actually their family, Alma's family, down in Honduras. And like I mentioned, the farm Finca Terrorito, and that farm we actually got to visit about a month ago. Some of our roastery team, and get to know the folks down there, which is why we've begun to really cherish these coffees all the more.
Yeah, that's awesome. Zach talked a lot about the experience that you guys got to have in the hospitality that you were participating in at the farms, and yeah, it's just really cool to see like not only our roastery be able to use their products, but like so many people across the world, and how many different coffee brands, and yeah, just like the unity that coffee can bring so many people.
Yeah, no, it's true, and the folks over there are they're just some of the most genuine people that you'll meet, doing just incredible work in their community. They're not just growing and roasting really good coffee, but they're taking everything that goes into that, and the proceeds even that come from that, and pouring it back into their community to continue to develop people that both can work in the coffee industry, but also kids that can grow up and continue sustainable practices and have healthy lives for the long haul, which is just really cool. So we'll have links to those to check out, because there's some really cool stuff on them. But without further ado, we're at our 4-minute mark, and so we're ready to pour the coffee for Zach and Jess.
Awesome. So, they need it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and take this over, and we'll get the coffee in their hands.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. Okay. All right. What do we got here? The white mug is the
French press Alma.
Okay. All right. This is Alma.
Give it to
Ladies.
Soulmate.
Ladies first. That's right. The Soulmate.
Yeah.
And then this one is
honeymoon.
okay
Drip.
on drip. Okay. All right. So this one. All right. Go ahead and go first.
You want
You
me to
got
slurp?
Slurp away.
I mean, I already know that
Mm.
I love this.
This is really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
Did
feel
you
like-
have this when you were down there?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. I mean, if maybe we did. We drank a lot of coffee actually, but I don't remember actually.
Yeah. Lately, I've been liking
Can I
more
switch?
cocoa hints.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not as punchy with all the fruit flavors.
Which I feel like is kind of funny. So I don't know if this is like judgy or rude, but like we would sometimes when we're like cupping for people, we'll like look at their age and be like, I bet you're more of a chocolatey cocoa focused person based on your age, or you're a more fruit, preference person if you're younger. Does that just mean that you're getting old?
Maybe. I feel it.
You had a birthday.
I did have a birthday since our last podcast.
I still am definitely like a fruit forward, fruit first kind of person.
A
Which
funky
He
coffee
likes
guy.
the funkiest coffees. And I'm just kind of
Mm.
getting over them. I'm like, I can drink this a little bit, but
Like
I
a
just
dessert
in
coffee.
in the morning
Yeah,
I
it
just
is.
want that nice cocoa
Balanced.
nutty balanced
Yeah.
feel.
Well, when we were in California, actually, we had a little bit of like acid reflux, both of us.
Because we
trying
were
to
drinking
figure
like
out-
extremely acidic, fruity coffees with anaerobic processing and
Well,
just all of
but
the.
we were also using a blade grinder because
It
that's
could have
all
been-
that
it
she
could
had
have
in her
been that.
house. And I think there might have been a little bit of like over extraction from like all the findings.
Inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely
absolutely.
inconsistent. It like chopped beans in half.
But I had a moment definitely where I was like, am I gonna have to change my daily like habit of
routine.
drinking, black coffee because it doesn't break your fast and all of that. Like obviously lower calories than if you're
We
adding
started intermittent
milk.
fasting.
Yeah.
When we got back from vacation, because we definitely overindulged.
Needed a cleanse.
We needed to cleanse.
Well, and really you started it. And I mean, because this month's theme, like I write the questions and then we practice them.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have not even seen the questions.
Perfect.
But this was one of the ones that it's kind of a part of the theme of every day and every decade that, it's like what daily sort of habits do we want to establish?
We're ready.
And well, the reason that we chose this theme is because of our anniversary month here. And so like that is
My baby's sentimental.
Baby girl.
Mhm.
Baby girl,
Baby girl
sentimental.
So anyway, all right, Paige, lay it on us.
All right,
Let's do the ritual.
Take it away. So again, you guys are almost to 8 years together, so nearly
We
a
can
decade.
make it to tomorrow.
Nearly a decade. No
Well,
promises.
we've been together for 11 years now, I think.
Okay.
But married.
Right.
For 8.
Which changes things for
Yeah.
sure. So, okay, so this will be good to have some reflection and I guess looking towards the future too. So, my first question, what's one small ordinary thing I do, so you'll both answer individually, that I do every day that makes you feel loved or cared for?
Oh, yeah. So I'm asking you what I do that makes you feel cared for, and I have to answer for you about what makes you feel cared for.
You answer for
Okay.
yourself what makes you feel cared for.
Okay. I was like,
You better feel cared for from this.
I feel cared for when you get my gas for me. Because I hate pumping gas.
That's
Even though it's not every day.
it's not every day,
But
especially
that is
since
what came to mind.
we got you like that hybrid, car, I filled up her car last week, and the thing that says how many miles are left on the tank, 603 miles.
Period.
In this economy. So that was exciting. Okay, well that's good. I do know that. I mean, for me,
I also like it when you cook for me. That's also not every day.
that is not every day. Yee. Yeah. For me, it's definitely when you bring the coffee in the morning. I mean,
thought
you
for
do that every
sure
day.
You were gonna say when I fold your laundry in the very,
I was-
very specific way he wants me to fold
I
it.
was
need to know
about
more.
to. Well, you opened up the window into non-daily things. I'm trying to follow the letter of the law because I'm a rule follower. Paige asked a question
I
about
also
daily.
load your dishes every day. That
Yeah, I
could
don't
be
care
one.
about that one as much. Because a lot of times I will load the dishes and you'll be like, "You're not doing it right," and I'm like,
He doesn't. I redo
fine.
it for him.
if you do not like the way I'm doing it, because I don't care, go ahead and do it yourself.
I'm like, I could fit so much more in here.
Well, and that's
Efficiency.
because that is how I appreciate you doing the laundry folding the way that I prefer, because I want to be able to fit 3 rows of shirts in my drawer instead of 2. And
Okay.
she does. She
Yeah.
does it.
So, you know, you
do
have a
appreciate
way
it.
that you fold laundry, and I had done it this way my entire life, and he folds it differently. So I feel like I just fumble with it because it's not natural for me, and it takes me so long to fold his t-shirts that sometimes I'll do it if I have time, but if I don't, I'm just like, I'm folding it my normal way.
That is very sweet because it's like a weird brain muscle memory that you have to work your way out
Yeah,
of. I'm
yeah.
going through that currently
But I
too.
also still like my way,
Mhm.
so I'm still folding mine my
Yeah, it's
way.
like,
Yeah,
is this my
yes.
shirt or his?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And
I'm
then
doing
she'll
a
fold it
specific
differently.
thing for his.
The drawers look very different. You can tell his and you can tell hers. Yeah.
It's like being bilingual. You're like bi-folding.
my brain has to.
Okay, well, question 2. I'll try to phrase a little easier at least.
Yeah, who wrote these questions?
Yeah, gosh, Zach.
Well, we did touch on Jess's birthday. So we've I'm not trying to say anything with this question. I didn't write it. But how do you feel about aging together? The physical, emotional, and practical realities of it. What fears or hopes do you have about growing old with me?
Yeah. I love it. Honestly, I love it.
You love getting old?
I love like being with you getting old.
Okay.
Like I just think you're just the most beautiful woman, and
That's sweet.
you just, I mean, remember when I would like take pictures of you sleeping and then post them on Facebook?
I was like, on my 40th birthday, I wake up to a picture of me sleeping on social media, and I was like, oh, hello.
I married a serial killer.
Yeah. Well, I like this. There's an au naturel,
Yeah.
beauty to
I would say he
her.
definitely doesn't like makeup. He doesn't like, he just wants to see me age naturally.
Yeah.
I wore a cowl neck because of my neck in the last video podcast. I was like,
Seriously.
oh my gosh, I'm aging. So yeah, it's a recognition. I feel like we like rub each other's like sore muscles, and right now I sprained my ankle at run club somehow on Saturday, and so he bought me a brace yesterday.
There's something kind of nice about having, I mean, because we're, I think, like 42 days apart in age. And so, like, we're hitting some of those just like natural body decaying milestones at the same time. I'm getting my first colonoscopy next week.
Yeah.
Woo!
So we were
Um,
like going through his prep instructions and making sure, because you have to like start 7 days. You need to do this at 5 days. You need to do this at 3 days. So we were like reading through them together last night.
Well, and then she's got this other thing. Will you give her a card real quick to read and just watch what she has to do with her glasses?
Oh, babe, you're making me do
Yeah,
this?
I'll hold it. Yeah. I
Hold my
love
cup
it.
then.
Okay, hold my beer.
I have to do this.
I love
now.
it. Like, it's so fun. It's just
So I do this all day long,
it's just I love it. My
and he thinks it's cute, but I have an eye appointment. I need progressives. So
It happens to
I
us
can
all.
see with these while I'm driving, but if I'm trying to look at my phone, I can't see. So I have to do this flip thing for now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, like, just when we were getting to know each other, it really like was about like, let's look long term about this. This isn't like, is this somebody who's going to be fun at 36? It's like, is this somebody who's going to be fun at 76?
Yeah. I would say we're both like really committed to trying to stay fit and like hike into our 70s and take care of our grandkids and all of that. But I think it's been fun just to like, we know each other's personalities so well now that as we just age together, we finish each other's sentences and
Some of us better than others.
interrupt you sometimes. And yeah, so like, I think we're just looking forward to aging together.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
Sweet. More
Yeah.
good stuff to come. Would you say like the time in your 40s has been different or better, or like how has it been different than the time together in your 30s?
It's definitely been different because in our 30s, we started a business together when we weren't
Yeah.
married, which was a big leap of faith. And I feel like you just kind of hit your stride in your 30s. So encouragement for you, hopefully. You still have some years to go. And then now in our 40s, I just feel more stable, and the kids are getting older, so there's less like running around with activities at night. So I do feel like we might need to start finding some more hobbies to do at night.
Yeah, I'd say we were maybe a little more physically active, and like the intensity of physical activities was higher in
For
our
sure.
30s. But then I'd say our financial like situation, like you sort of settle into like a more stable financial picture.
Mhm.
So like our bodies can't do as much, but our bank accounts can do more.
That's so much better. Way better.
Yeah, that's true.
Sweet. Okay, well, last question.
Okay.
When you think about coming home at the end of the day, what do you hope to find or feel? I really liked this one.
What I do find is dog hair.
Don't do my man Snoopy like that.
Because you know I'm not very hopeful and I can be a bit negative.
Oh, Jesse.
But I would hope to have dinner made for me
Yeah.
and my house to be clean.
Yeah. One of those I can do better than the other. I'd say for me, I just hope that Jessica has spent herself in a way to where she feels accomplished. And like she's very hardworking. Am I talking to you? Am I talking to Paige? Who am I talking to? Jessica, you are very hardworking. This is what therapists would tell me, right? Like when you have used yourself up and you don't feel anxiety about having to do it again the next day, where you're just kind of like, I'm accomplished and I have earned this however
Rest
many
time?
minutes or hours,
Yeah.
reading something, watching something, kind of
Mhm.
chilling out to where you just feel like I did it.
I am trying to make that brain switch and say, what is something that you would like to do? Would you like to read for a few minutes? Do you want to buy tickets to a concert? Like, I feel like I put off so many of those experiences, just raising kids, working, starting a business, that now I'm like, you know what? You should enjoy your life some, like do some fun things. So
And like the nice thing is for us in our business, it's not like we go away from each other in the morning and then I can look forward to kind of coming home and like reconnecting, reuniting. It's like we're with each other, I'd say most days, most of the day. There are those occasional things to where your work takes you to like a different location than me.
he did not get up at 4:45 to do catering with me this morning.
She did not stay up to fix the espresso machine at Newburgh last night. So
That's true.
tit for tat.
Yeah, my new bedtime is like 8 p.m.
It's the dream.
It's so bad.
That's a stretch. You're
No,
it's 7 o'clock if you can make it.
Yeah, especially if Zach's gone. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lay down at 6.
Girl dinner.
And it also stops me from eating. So the fasting thing, like, I'm like, hey,
Sleep for
two
dinner.
birds with one stone here. I'm getting rest and I'm not eating.
Sleep for dinner.
Yeah, we it's rare that we need time apart. So I'd say there. I mean,
No, we do sometimes. After the California trip, when we got home, I said,
we did need.
I need a few hours of alone time. I did. I was like, I have been with you every moment for 7 days.
Out of your routine into
Yeah.
a new routine.
And I just like needed to get like some taxes done for the business. And I was like, please go do
Well,
something else.
and I do. We cut down a big tree in the backyard, and I have an ungodly amount of fire. I have months of firewood to go through, and so we'll sometimes that does tend to be a separate
Yeah,
activity.
I don't love campfires.
No, I don't either. I don't want to smell like one.
It's just
but
he can shower and it's off of him. I have to wash my hair. It's this whole ordeal.
I do appreciate that you guys can like be in the same room and do separate activities and not have to like have one another's attention all the time or like feel guilty about not doing the exact same thing together. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do that more myself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
You're over there building your Lego set while he's watching TV.
My puzzle. Give me all my puzzles. Yeah, because sometimes it's like, do you hate me? Why don't you want to do this with me? But it's like, well, oh, you're doing your own thing. Okay.
And you get to that point, and it is kind of nice. Like sometimes he does want to watch YouTube, and I'm not like a huge YouTube fan. And so I just want to be doing like solitaire on my phone, and he's like trying to like pause it and get my attention. I'm like, no, I really don't care. Like I'm doing the thing that I want to do. So I think the longer you're in a relationship, you're just more willing to be like, hey,
don't care. Yeah.
this is what I would like to do.
Love you. Don't care.
we literally were watching like a video podcast like this like last night, and I was like, oh, isn't this so interesting? And she was
I couldn't care less.
just like, I better get a 3 on my next draw.
That's me with my crossword puzzle out. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, did we answer that question? I don't remember what the question
I think
was.
so.
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
so. I
cool.
also
they're
it made me
just prompts. They're designed to let the conversation go where it needs to go.
The
And
conversation went. Yep. Full send.
full send. Well, that's all I got for you. Didn't
That's
have
right.
any more questions, so Zach, it's on you to write them for next time.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll check back in a decade or
Cheers.
next month for our next ritual. Cheers.
Cheers.